Hi there, this is Lindsay Drangeid, and this is my video response to the issue of producing a classroom lesson that involves evaluation of information. So the question is, how do we help our students get more expert at consuming information, communicating truth, and just got a few little examples of all reputable sources of information here. This is largely for my own amusement, so I apologize. So, what is it that I teach, and who do I teach it to? So, currently, and for a while now, I have taught physics, both general and AP. There are actually two different AP courses, three, and I've taught two of them at the high school level, and I almost exclusively get juniors and seniors, occasional sophomores, and I've even had a couple of freshmen over the years, which is highly unusual. In total, I have been teaching 20 years, 21st year coming up, and feeling okay about it. Some of the years I've taught combinations of actually ninth grade physical science and physics, but most of my career has been spent teaching just physics, sometimes just general physics, but most of the time with AP in there. So that's kind of my wheelhouse there. So the question is, how sophisticated do I think my students are in their ability to understand research, information that's produced by the media, and how well can they assess accuracy out of it? So when I hear the word sophisticated in relationship to my students, I can't help but mention that I have watched students intentionally look directly into a laser, swing a 1 kilogram pendulum into their crotch, and lick high voltage sources. Fortunately, the voltage sources were very low current, so there wasn't danger, but they didn't know that. These are just my favorites. It's far from a comprehensive list. It's probably no surprise that each and every one of these students that I have observed has a Y chromosome. More seriously, the juniors and seniors that I have in class would be doing their research typically more in like an English course or social studies, though I don't teach them, so I can't say for sure, but that would be the primary candidates. The all of the science curricula don't really leave a lot of time to do a lot of research, kind of get jam-packed with other things. That is something I intend to improve upon, even if it's just introducing a small amount of research and information evaluation. So I haven't had many occasions to observe their skills. My impression is that their skills would be low to moderate. Similarly, their ability to make judgments about the truth and the accuracy of a source would be a little low, certainly in any kind of an evidence-based sort of way. So what am I going to do about it? How do I get them better at this? So a high school physics course deals almost exclusively with what is known as classical physics. Classical physics is physics that's been studied, tested extensively, and the high school courses just don't really get into any of the modern physics like relativity, quantum, modern cosmology. So the vast majority of what they're studying is physics where most of the big research was done by the end of the 18th century. The point of bringing this up is that there would only be limited research with the topics that they study in class, just because most of that work was done over 125 years ago. That said, I envision opportunities for little like one-day deviations from the standard curriculum, just one class period, researching more current and arguably more exciting physics. It would require a lot of guidance. This could be the day before or after a break, or maybe the last day of quarters 1 and 3. The end of our second and fourth quarters are the end of the semesters, and they wouldn't be as good candidates to do that. But typically in the first and third quarter, any kind of a quarter end comprehensive exam or test doesn't happen on the very last day. We usually work it out a little different than that. So those would be good days because that could be self-contained. There would be some barriers to this. First of all is that modern physics, like real research in modern physics, has a very strong tendency to be highly technical, not easily understood by anyone who doesn't hold an advanced physics degree, master's or PhD. It even gets a little challenging for someone who has a bachelor's degree, which I have, just because, and it was a long time ago that I would have taken any coursework in that more modern physics. Yeah, that was a while ago. The other barrier is just that it would take a lot of time and work to adequately prepare it, because you wouldn't want to just shoot from the hip on this sort of thing. And, I'm not afraid to spend the time. It's more finding the time. But once you develop a good solid lesson plan and you find appropriate resources that, are addressing that more interesting research, you'd be able to use them again in the future. So that's what I see. So thanks for your time. A couple little highlights of what I did this summer. Got a chance to go to Maine. Actually, that was just last week. And I also had hair assistance from a 9-year-old. I could probably use a little bit of that right now. Ta-ta.